So it's time now for all things course structure. I know a few of you in the group have really highlighted the need to understand this part better. And this is like a really key part of course creation. So I thought I'll create this video and we can go through it now. So yeah, we're going to go through two things today: organizing your content and creating PowerPoint slides. I didn't want to overwhelm you with too much information because there's just so much to go over, but I thought with these two key pieces that will really get you started. And so yeah, starting with organizing content, all courses come from an idea. You have the idea in your head, swarming with ideas, and now you need to put it onto paper. And the best way to do it is post-it notes, and that's because you can easily move things around and change things as more ideas come into your head, or especially if you make a mistake and something doesn't seem right, post-it notes is just the way to go. Another way, instead of using post-it notes, is using Asana. Asana, which I've shown you the basics of how to set yourself up, is perfect for this. You can create a project for your course and then modules, and you have all the topics. The tasks can be the topics. And you can just move things around as well as you need to. So Asana is a great way to go. I'm more post-it notes, but I'm slowly moving all the way over to Asana, especially, in today's environment, trying to save trees and stuff. Asana is just perfect. So for your post-it notes, you start by creating modules. So I'll show you the next slide. And here I've just created an example board. So you create a board, right, or on your wall where it's showing all different modules. And under here are the topics. Okay, and so each module doesn't have to have the same amount of topics underneath it. For example, here I've got 3 topics here, 2 topics here, 3, 1. Can be however you want, and you can have as many topics in there as you want as well. You don't have to go overboard with it. Suggest you don't. But yeah, you don't have to have them even. So each one doesn't have to have just 3 or 5. It can just be, how you feel, because one module may only need, a few topics in it to be discussed. And it doesn't make sense to add stuff in it just to fill it up. It actually looks quite bad, because don't forget, this is your brand, right? And you want everything you put in there reflects on your brand, so you want it to be perfect. And also think of it like you're taking the course. Put yourself into the student's shoes and think, what I'm putting into the course, does that need to be there? Do I really need to know that? And if you don't, take it out. Don't put fillers in there, okay? It's really bad. So group topics under each module that are similar. And like I just said, modules do not have to be the same size. And yes, that is my cat Cleo meowing. Okay, so now I will go here. So I've shown you the board. These are the different modules and the topics. And you can actually color code things as well. So you can have different post-it notes meaning different things like blue, green, yellow, orange, whatever it may be, but don't go overboard with the color coding, because it will become super confusing and messy. So just, a few little different colors maybe to represent different things, but only just a few, say 3 or 4. I just don't go overboard, because yeah, it does become really messy. And yeah, here it's fine for only one topic to be in one module and 5 in another. That's no big drama. That's not something to stress about. And put your topics in logical order of simplest to hardest. So you want them to build on the last, right? So you don't want to hit them with the hardest thing to go with, because they will just go, oh my God, this course is just too hard. I'm not going to continue, because it's really, too much work already. And also you have to think about how many people actually finish courses. So it's, quite low when you really think about how many courses are out there. And I can't remember the exact number, but the percentage of students who actually complete the courses is quite low. So you don't want to be one of those courses. You want to take your student on a journey where they're constantly learning. It's not too hard, like it's not overwhelming for them. And you're not just putting fillers in there, okay? Because that will really keep the student engaged if you're putting the right content in there and taking them on a journey. I think that's it should flow really nicely. And remember, a journey, like put yourself in the student's shoes and really think, how would you like to, if you were taking that course, how would you like to take that journey? And of course, move the post-it notes topics around until they're in the right order. And once they're in the right order, number them so you know their position. So for example, here, this one here could be M11, so module 1, part 1, M12, M13, M21, M22, and so on. That way, if the post-it notes become messy, you know where they, or if they fall off, you know where they sit. Okay, so that actually saves a lot of time. And now, so we'll go into PowerPoint slides. So these are not for your presentation. That's really important to know that. It's not for your presentation, okay? These are to actually organize the course structure. And so you use these when starting to create your topic content in each module. It'll give you a real visual of how your content will look. And it will show you if it's flowing nicely. And of course, it will show you if things need to change, okay? If something's not flowing consistently, this will help you identify where that problem is. And again, pretty much like the post-it notes, this is so easy to move around. You can just move the slides up and down. So what I've done is I've actually created a PowerPoint for you as an example, and I've put into this this Canva presentation. So just say, for example, my first module is templates, kind of like the Canva course I did, but I'm just making this the module and it's just templates. And so underneath it, this is where the content would be. So I would want to be talking about blank templates. That would probably be the first part I'd talk about. And here I'm talking about showing where to find the blank templates, how to select the templates, how to create custom templates. And then I would next go on to the preset templates, show where to find the preset templates, etc. And then we move into design tools. And here I start with images, and you explain how to upload the image feature and videos, audio, and then you go into the text section and go through, adding headings, changing your font size, changing your font type, etc. And then, it goes into branding as well. So design tools has quite a few different features. And here I've just listed a few of them, but that just shows you how I've moved through all the different design tools, okay? And then we go on to the Canva Pro. And this was another module on its own where I discussed purely Canva Pro, benefits of upgrading to Canva Pro, background remover, social media schedule, etc. I mean, it goes on, but that was just the basics for you. So you can see how I've broken it down into modules in the PowerPoint slide and then into the topics as well, okay? And don't forget, this is not your presentation. It is just to organize your course structure. And then lastly, here are the key takeaways. Use post-it notes or Asana. Start with creating modules and then your topics. And you can color code things to identify key things. But of course, like I said, don't go crazy with the color coding because it will just overcomplicate things. Logical order from simplest to hardest. Build on the last. So you don't want to start with the hardest thing first. You want to, introduce them to that module and slowly work through things so they actually feel like it's flowing consistently. And yeah, so use the PowerPoint slides when creating your content. It's absolutely fabulous. I love PowerPoint anyway. I use it quite often. And I just find that it's such an easy tool to use. And like, the post-it notes and Asana, you can move things around as you need to change things. So that's why I like about it so much. And don't forget, consistency is king. That's super important. Everything you do needs to be consistent because it's representing your brand. Okay?